with Coach Show here on Talk 101.3 The Buzz. Brought to you, as always, by Los Margaritas on 25th Street. Man, if you're getting hungry for Mexican food, go up there and check them out, and you know what delicious food they serve there. But Coach Floyd, on the road to open the season. It's always exciting on the road. It's always interesting, a little more interesting. We want it to be Friday night with a tough loss, a game that we could have won several different ways. We had some drives that were stymied with some turnover. We had some untimely penalties. But let's go back into the start of the game. We had a lightning delay before we ever kicked off of 20 minutes. It's like 10 till 9 or 10 till 8 we kicked off. We played for 2 minutes and 41 seconds. At 9:19, the clock stopped, lightning streak across the sky. Go inside again. We come back out and warm up a second time and get lined up, ready to go, and here's a lightning streak. So we go back in a third time and have to come back out and warm up again. How does that, I know the other team's doing it too, but how does that affect the kids mentally or the staff mentally? I mean, it's opening game. You hadn't played 3 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's reality.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can make excuses, and like you said, both teams dealt with it, but, you know, we come out the very first drive, or the very first series on defense, and it's 4th and 20.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we played 3 great downs, and then all the delays, and, you know, you warm up 4 different times.
And they fumbled the ball on the snap. We had the ball there again.
And then we got the ball, and we got momentum, and then it's delayed.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we come back out when we finally got to play, which I think after we warmed up 4 times, and we missed 2 tackles, and they have an 80-yard run. Is that the weather's fault? No, that's our fault. We missed the tackle, but the kids have warmed up 4 different times. They're thinking they're. I mean, it's hard to keep getting up for that, and we did settle in after that. But yeah, that first drive after we finally got to play again, you know, we just weren't quite as ready, and you know, they were. So you got to give them credit because he did break the tackles and we missed them. So it's part of the game. You know, we got to deal with that better. But yeah, it's reality.
Well, we had something happen in the game too, a little bit unfortunate. Had a couple of injuries, and update us on the status of those guys.
Well, Javen, you know, he took really, I can't even say a hit. It's kind of on a trick play. We toss pass, and really he just kind of barely got nicked on the backside. The guy did nothing, you know, illegal, or
right.
he wasn't trying to hurt Javen, but it just kind of nicked him as he went by, and his shoulder pops out, and so he has an MRI today, and then, you know, it'll take us maybe a day or 2 to get the results back. The x-rays look good, but the MRI, just to make sure no ligaments and stuff like that. He's still sore, not moving it. But we're hoping, good news, you know, 2 weeks and he's back. So, you know, injuries are part of the game. You hate to lose a guy like that just because he's so talented.
Yeah.
And he's worked so hard to get in the position he is. But Brody Morgan also turned his ankle, but he ended up going back in. So really, Javen's the only one we have out for this week.
And that was his shoulder.
His shoulder, non-throwing shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's going to be all right in the long run.
Well, we didn't get a whole lot of yards passing, but we moved the ball quite well on the ground. Javen had some good runs. Javon, his brother, had some really good. That freshman, Jackson Wilson, boy, he's a force to be reckoned with, and he looked good, strong, and he's a straight-ahead runner. You know,
yeah.
He's going to power through. If you get him down, you get him down, but otherwise, he's going to go right through the middle. And offensive line, you had 4 starters graduate, but I thought they played really well Friday night.
It got better and better as the game went on, and, you know, they were kind of mad at me. They said I didn't talk very good about them last time we did this interview, but it wasn't that I wasn't talking good about them. I think they had potential, but they didn't have experience.
Yeah.
And as the game went on, they got better and better, and we started to see what we can be up front. Speaking of Jackson Wilson, you know, him and Javon together, I mean, it's like thunder lightning, so it's a really good combination there, and, you know, defense are going to have to figure out who's in the game and, you know, what we're trying to do. So that's a really nice 1-2 punch that we hadn't had in quite a while.
Yeah.
And so that's nice to have. We did move the ball at times well, but you know, we got to be more consistent.
Yeah.
And we only had 44 plays of offense, so what that tells you is we didn't move the chains. You know, and we had a couple chances to have big plays, and there were drop passes. So we've got to continue to execute on those kind of things and make sure keep our defense off the field, because defensively we had 66 snaps. So we don't like the time possession there. That was too big of a difference. But we feel like our running games will get better and better, and we're excited about it for the future.
Well, we had some opportunities to slip through our fingers, and we could have maybe moved it down the field and scored. Cannon Hall, a senior, outstanding game, I thought. He's speed to burn. and he caught we had 5 completions. He caught all 5 of those and had a good game.
And he's a playmaker, and unfortunately for him, he cramped up, and so we couldn't our game plan changed drastically when Javen went out, Cannon goes down, and not only offensively but defensively too. It was kind of a ripple effect because Cannon plays safety, Aiken plays safety, so it was we found out our depth Friday night, to say the least. And the bottom line is it's 7 minutes to go in the game. We're up 2 on the 25-yard line going in. We got a chance to put the game away, and we didn't. For whatever reason, Farragut's got our number. I take the blame. We have not pulled those games away. But I'll guarantee you this. Farragut will be the first team I call in the offseason to reschedule. I've had a lot of people ask me, why do you keep playing them? Because that's the games we want to play.
Yes.
They're a good program. We have a lot of respect for them, but we ain't running from nobody.
Right.
And we hate that we lost, but it doesn't change what we're going to do this week. Whether we won or lost, we're still going to get ready for the next week, and that's the way it's going to be.
Well, you mentioned Aiden McClary. I thought he stepped in and did a yeoman's job there. He came in late in the second period, I guess, and stayed in there. He captained the team and led the team like you expect a backup to do. He was prepared when his number was called. Yeah,
we're very fortunate. Aiden could be a starting quarterback. Now, is he different than Javen? Yes. Just about every player in the state of Tennessee is different. They're not Javen. So there's things that he does good. There's things that Javen does good that Javen may even do better. Javen's as fast as any player we ever had. Aiden can run. He can hurt you with his feet. He's not that fast. So the game, once again, like I said before, the game plan had to change a little bit. And this week it'll be tailored a little bit more to Aiden's strengths. So, in the long run, again, it's good for Aiden to get some reps. We hate it. It comes at the expense of Javen. But we feel fine with Aiden. Our team's going to rally.
It come under the pressure on the road, in an area that we just don't have a lot of success in there. But let's talk about your defense, man. I thought C.J. Hardy had an outstanding game of defense. Camden Creighton was your leading tackler. Kens Hooper, thank goodness he's back in the fold. Gage Anderson. I mean, I'm telling you, there's a lot of bright spots on defense, that stepped up in there.
I think we'll be better defensively. And
we got Bears a game for
we
Chris,
did.
I thought.
They scored 14 on us in the first half, and then, we had a turnover late or down in our territory, which we ended up holding them to 3. And then, of course, we had the safety on offense. And then the last drive, there's 2 third and 10 and longer situations where penalties hurt us on pass interference and a targeting call. So I feel like Ken Hooper obviously is a huge difference.
Right.
He's our emotional leader. But I'll tell you who's right there with him is C.J. Hardy.
Yeah.
C.J. Hardy's an emotional leader. And he kept, one thing I was so proud about C.J. is on the sidelines, he just kept picking people up. All right, let's go, being positive. So it's good to have those guys. And, he's a Division I football player and already committed to UT Martin. So he made some huge plays, and I think he's a whole lot better than last year. So
he seems, for his size, he's fast.
Yes.
He was running that quarterback all over the field, and he's getting rid of the ball most of the time. But boys, a few times he didn't get rid of it, and C.J. laid a licking on him there,
Oh, yeah. We feel like we have the potential to be a pretty good defense.
Well, let's talk about something that happened here recently, too. JV game, Kobe Dills and those guys whooped Cleveland's tail, so to speak, there Monday night when they played. Looked really, really good. They had a 26-0 lead at halftime, and you got play, and he did. You're there, too, but he played a lot of players there.
Well, first of all, Kobe Dills deserves a lot of credit.
Yes.
He is a very hard worker. He is perfect for what we need as far as he's hard on the kids. He's very demanding. We've been having 3-hour practices, in the preseason, and we're running off the field varsity-wise, and he's like, JV's there for another hour. So they were prepared, and that's because of Coach Dills. He does a great job, and
kids love him.
They love him and they hate him. They get mad at him, but they know why.
Yeah.
He loves them too, and I'll be honest, he needs to be a head coach at some point. It could be football, basketball. He won the championship last year in freshman basketball. So I can't say enough good things about Kobe, but he had the team ready. Now, we made a lot of mistakes on JV. We felt like we should have scored a lot more points.
Oh, yes.
We left a lot of points on the board, but we played a lot of kids, and once again, we feel good about our future.
And, folks, if you haven't seen the JV, get out here next Monday. They'll play Walker Valley Monday here at Bradley, and then the following Monday, McMinn County here at Bradley. So get out here and look at these teams and see the up-and-coming stars. You got to play a lot of guys in the second half that were freshmen, and your future looks bright with these guys coming through that JV program with Kobe there.
Yeah, I think if you put our freshman, sophomore class together, it fits really well. on position-wise. You know, you don't have certain positions, and this happens sometimes where you're just stacked at one position. It's pretty much spread out, offensive line, skill guys, quarterback, you know, and then, of course, defensively, we got some guys that are spread out too. So when you combine them, it makes for, you know, a pretty good team.
We're going to take a break right here, and on behalf of Las Margaritas, our sponsor this year for our coaches show, and Mr. Damon Floyd, we'll be back in just 1 moment with continued coverage and look ahead at Walker Valley. Back here with Coach Damon Floyd on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Las Margaritas up on 25th Street. Remember them when you go out, call it in, get it delivered, or go out there and eat the dining room line. Great place to go have some great Mexican food. Coach, looking ahead to Friday night, we should have a capacity crowd as far as the new protocols will allow. Well, let me back up here. It's Thursday night. How do you feel about Thursday games? I know how you feel, but you tell everybody else.
I would play every Thursday if we could. You know, you just, once you get to a certain point, I know it's early in the season, Coach, we want to play.
Yeah.
I mean, practice is practice to get ready, but I think if everybody's being honest, you know, our Thursday practice is not very much. I mean, if you're not ready by Thursday, then it doesn't matter.
You
it's
ain't
a
ready
walkthrough,
then,
yeah. So I would play every Thursday, like I said, and I think the kids like to play Thursday, and then Friday you get a little bit of a day off and you get time to relax, and so yeah, we're excited about that.
Well, hopefully get a win and come back to school Friday and talk about it, you know, and all that. Obviously, we're going to be enforcing protocols Thursday night. To get in, you're going to have to wear the mask to get in. You'll have to have your temperature checked, or folks, you ain't getting in. We strongly suggest you get your tickets early to assure that you can get in there. If you don't have season tickets, consider that. A lot of folks are buying those. This will be your 15th time to face the Mustangs, and you've won them all but one. It's not a non-region game, but nevertheless a huge game to try to bounce back after that loss at Farragut and get that taste out of your mouth. Is there a lot of talk among the players? You know, they know it's Walker Valley. I mean, they got friends on that team. Is there a lot of? It's not like a Cleveland rivalry at this point because Cleveland's rivalry is so old and more emotional, I guess. But are those crosstown rivalry talks? You guys, coaches talk about that, or the players talk about that? Or they?
We do this week,
Yeah.
And really, we don't. I mean, we do talk about it because you're game planning for them, and all of our kids know their kids, and vice versa. But it's really, and I know it's his coach's cliche, but it's the truth, is we've got to do what we do. I mean, you're going to prepare for Walker Valley, but other than that, it's what we do. And I think the biggest difference is, you know, when we're watching film on them, is the kids are saying their names. You know, where usually it's number 5 here, they're saying their names. They know who they are. Yeah. So I would say, and this goes for Walker Valley too, I'd say that they're a little bit more fired up when you play teams like that. That's a rival. And, you know, Coach Aiken's done a good job of getting them turned around, and I know they're coming down here to win. And we've got to be prepared. Well,
I was looking back at the stats before he came in. They averaged 8 points per game. Last year's 24.
Yeah.
That's 16 points more per game. That's 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And on defense, they cut down from 40-something points a game they're giving up down to 20-something. So they obviously in 1 year's time, he's worked some miracles there for those guys. And they're in 5A, like I said, they're not a 6A school, but they're still a formidable foe. They whipped Cannon County 39-0 last week. And so, what do you see at Coach Aikens that you pick up from film that he likes to try to do?
Well, he's going to try to stay balanced. So, you know, he's not going to let you know when he's running or passing, and they have a good running game. And you can tell that he's trying to establish the running game. I think they have a couple good running backs. I can't think of their names right now, but they have a couple good running backs. And then you got Tucker Pope, who was with us his freshman, sophomore year, so we know Tucker really well, and we know what he's capable of. I think he was preseason All-State this year, so he definitely has the potential to throw the ball around. I think all their offensive linemen are back from last year, so that helps them. And then they have some receivers. I know the Brody Swafford kid, we played against him a lot last couple of years, but he's got potential to take it to the house. And, you know, those guys run good routes and they catch the ball. And so, yeah, there's definitely a good scheme there where we have to make sure that like we line up correctly and then we do our job. And we got to trust that the teammate does his job to try to slow them down. Well, we got to tackle. We've got to tackle.
Yeah, I hope we can take care of business Friday night. But it's going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be, I said Friday again, it's Thursday game, folks. Thursday. I got to pound that in. Get your tickets early if you can and be there Thursday to support the team. Walker Valley fans, they've got some tickets up there that we've sent up there so they can come enjoy the game too. A lot of bragging rights on the line. It's not a reaching game, so in that regard, it doesn't affect anything. Also, I want to mention this. You got a lot of respect around the state. You're still ranked 12th this week, even though you lost in the first coaches poll came out. You're ranked. The Bears are ranked 12th among the teams there. So,
well, I just honestly we ain't happy with 12. So that's
I
we
hope
got
you're not.
Yeah, we got beat by a good team, Farragut.
Yes.
So that's probably the respect because it was somewhat close, but that's not our goal to be 12 for sure.
We hope not. We want it higher and higher and higher to get. And thank you, Coach Floyd, for joining us for this week's Coaches Show. I hope you're there this Friday when you open our home season. It's always, always exciting. You can join Earl, myself, and Gwen Schroyer. He'll be our sideline man at that game. And that game be streamed, I'm sure it will be, by Coach Schroyer and his guys, our students here. Join us at 6 o'clock for the award-winning football panel on Thursday night. That's Thursday night for Bear Stadium here. And thanks again to Lost Margaritas on 25th Street for sponsorship of this year's Coaches Show. And so long until next time, we'll just close saying, God bless and go Bears.